Guys, what is up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Geralda. So I just wanted to do a video to help you guys find student accommodation abroad, outside of your home country into your international university. So I just wanted to help you guys, give you guys some suggestions, and also give you guys my review of my own apartment that I went to and the website that I used it on. So let's get started. By the way guys, to help you guys out and to help you guys save some money, you guys can use my code for Uniplaces, Home, and TransferWise, so you guys can save some money in the process of that. Or you guys can look down in the description to use my code. Okay, first and foremost, my first video about experience, I went to Madrid, Spain, and I went through the UC3M program. To find my apartment, I used Uniplaces.com, Home.com, and my college I recommended Student Global Relocation. They only offer accommodation in major US cities and major European cities. So Madrid, Barcelona, Paris, Rome. It does differ between each website, but overall they cater to US cities and European cities. I can speak for Asian accommodation, South America accommodation, African accommodation, or even Australian accommodation. So finding apartments wasn't hard at all. In fact, there was a lot of apartments available when I searched. So I found Uniplaces and Home by myself, and my school recommended to look at Student Global Relocation. So all of these websites, all three of them, they offer apartments, solo or shared. They offer student residence, studio apartments, host families, or co-living. All these apartments, all these accommodations are not limited to students, so of course you don't have to be a student to rent out any of these places, but these websites are mostly geared to students, and in some of them you have to be required to be a student. So just a heads up, you don't have to be a student, but some listings will require you to be a student. So what really helped me limiting what my listings and choosing out what my listings is limiting myself to any of these apartments are verified or not. For example, on the Uniplace website, it will say checked and or trusted landlord. On Home, it will say checked. And for Student Global Relocation, that's different because my university recommended to us, so obviously I trusted that. So I will only book if it says those things. If it didn't say checked or trusted landlord, I would not book with them. It's just for more of a sanity, just more of a trust thing for me, and also just to limit myself because there was a lot of apartments available. So I just limited myself to checked and trusted landlords. The lowest I've seen was 250 euros all the way to freaking 5,000 euros. Each apartment is different, so you have different amount of roommates, or is it in a different area of the city? It just depends. Obviously every listing is different. Of course there are some things that you have to consider. Decide who to live with and where to live, how many people you want to live with. Do you want to live with all boys or all girls? Yeah, in some of the listings it says all girls only and or all boys only, so it will say it on the listing. I couldn't get in contact with my roommates. I emailed Uniplaces like, hey, can I email my future roommates just so I can get to know them, just to see when were they gonna meet up at the apartment. However, they weren't allowed to disclose that information. So pretty much the day I moved into my apartment was the first day I ever met my roommate. Understand about financing, how to pay the rent at your apartment. The landlord gave me the company's bank information, like the account number and stuff like that, and I was able to transfer the money from my bank account to their bank account. Read the contract before you sign. Just read everything, just read what's in it, just see if there's going to be any penalties for any damage that may occur at the apartment. And also ask about the security deposit, like can you get the security deposit back if you leave early, or can you get the security deposit back when you're finished your full stay with no problems. Just ask about questions about that. Also consider how far your apartment is to the city center. When looking at the videos and the pictures, look at the storage space. See if there's any space you could put your stuff in. If there's a closet or where to put your suitcase in. Also see what's included in your bill. So I've heard that there's some apartments where there's bills included and there's not bills included. However, landlords take advantage of the bills included and they charge more for it, which I didn't know. My bills were included, I didn't know, so maybe that's why my apartment was a little more expensive than I thought it would be. So yeah, just to make sure, just a heads up about that. Bills included, I think they just upcharge it for their benefit. On top of that, ask and consider what does the apartment comes with. So does it come with kitchen utensils, bed linings, pillows, a drying board, an iron, to see that if you need to buy anything in the future when you get there to your apartment. So for my student accommodation, how I was able to find my apartment in Madrid, Spain. So again, I went to UC3M and I was able to find a listing there. So the listing was literally right next to the university. that really caught my eyes to book it. And also it said trusted landlord and also said check. That really made me trust the listing even more. So for my situation, I booked it with Uniplaces. So again, it said check, it said trusted landlord, but I also found the same exact listing on Spot a Home. So it's basically the same landlord, the same company. So it was a 3-bedroom apartment, meaning that I would have roommates. However, I do get my own room. We share a kitchen, we share a living room, and we share a bathroom. So my apartment was not in the center of Madrid, which is usually around Seoul. I chose my apartment especially since it was right next to the university, but it was still in Madrid, and also I could commute by using the metros and the train from where my apartment was to the center of Seoul. So it was kind of like, which one should I utilize? Should I utilize living in the center of the city, or should I utilize being right next to the university? So yeah, it was like a 30-second walk from my apartment to my university. It wasn't that bad of a commute. There was a security deposit and I had to pay that in cash. So I met my landlord, I got in contact with my landlord, he got my WhatsApp phone number and we just met up. He gave me the keys and all, and he made me sign contracts, and he also helped me out to open the door. He also helped me answer questions. So what happens if I lost my keys? Who do I contact if I lost my keys? And all that. So yeah, I signed a contract the time I got there and I just talked to him. He gave me the keys, I paid my security deposit, and yeah, I was in my room. Also, a good thing about my apartment, everything was new, everything was refurbished. The kitchen utensils was new, the bathroom was new, my bedroom, everything was new. Everything was new and refurbished. However, looking back on it, I did feel like I paid more than what it is, especially since the apartment wasn't in the center of Madrid. I feel like it was more appropriate if the apartment costs like 300 or 400 euros. I don't know, I feel like 550 is a little bit much, especially since I'm not in the center of Madrid, but I guess it is what it is. At least it wasn't like 800 euros or 1,000 euros. I know some people that paid like 800 euros a month for their apartment, but their apartment was in Seoul. It was in the center of Seoul, but like it was like that's pretty expensive. However, if I were to do this situation again, if I knew what I was doing back then, I would opted out having roommates at all. That's another story. I did not have a good roommate situation. I would choose to get a solo apartment or rented out a student residence. And being in the center of Madrid, I mean, I didn't hate being right next to my campus and at the outskirts of Madrid. It's just more, I don't know, it was either or. It didn't really make me or break me. It was just either or. I didn't really care if it to be in the center. It was just whatever. But honestly guys, overall, I have no regrets. Again, if you have any questions, you can leave it down in the description. I will answer it, or you can DM me on Instagram. By the way, follow me on Instagram, okay? I'll leave it up on the screen. And yeah, that's all. Bye. Again, you'll get some discount on your so it came with utility. So it came with utility. It came with utilities. I don't know how to say the word. Utility.